All right, and the clock is ticking, so we are going. So let's jump right in, shall we? So last time around, you guys had fought a dragon and won. Well, you won well. You took some time inside the lair of the dragon. A few of you guys, immediately after that, you charged out of the cave and into Hasper, Nyx's home village, where there was still a battle raging between the two sides of the armies, between your militia of around 420, and an army of untold amounts of kobold. But your army was handily winning the fight. However, there were some issues in the village that you guys took care of. Some of you guys went and saved the forge and smithy that Nyx had spent a lot of time in from a fire, discovering inside a bunch of pygmy fire elementals who you have now adopted until you can return them.
Those guys
until you can return them to their proper plane of existence. Although Nyx cannot see them at all.
Right.
While two of you, assisting with some flying kobolds who were still in the town, came across, let's call her an old friend, Corin Dawnhammer, a member of the Black Diamond crew, and two Drow assassin along with her. You chased her out of the village and across the snowy fields of Hasper, where a battle ensued. Things got a little dicey, and Corin did escape, although Sai did get a fun new tool out of said battle. And Trev picked up a few cool new scars and maybe a bit of information, sort of. So we pick up from there. It's been... Oh, and then you guys went and re-raided the Dragon's Horde. We accelerated through some stuff that I will cover in a bit more detail in a second, but you did pick up some fun new items. Fader got a new sword. What else happened? Nyx got a new dagger.
Some
you
beer.
Guys got a lot.
Beer.
There was some beer, but more importantly, you guys also found a broken airship that you all will need to figure out what to do with now. So we'll pick up from there. It's been 2 days from what the history books will write down as the Battle of the Valley, the first true battle of what would then be, what would eventually become the war between the realms. But you guys don't know that for now. For now, you've been enjoying 2 days of rebuilding, reconnecting, and helping the village of Hasper get back up on its feet. Most of you guys have been spending time within the mines themselves, helping to unload the Dragon's Horde and redistribute it back to the villagers of Hasper. There's a kind of an auction line almost of people coming up and saying the things they're missing that have been taken by the kobolds, and being returned back to them as best they can, or at least compensated in gold and gems if it can't be refound for whatever reason or another. Smashed pottery, things like that. Nyx, you've been spending a lot of time with your family, which we'll get to in a second, because that's going to be a lot. And things within the militia, at least, are relatively good. Immediately after the battle, there was a meeting between the captains, Ducky, and yourselves, to kind of take stock of how things went, what the totals were, and whatnot. For the most part, the infantries were relatively unscathed. Many wounded, but almost no dead. Of the 150 total infantrymen you had, you actually only lost 8 of them. So, well done, guys. You did some fantastic training there. Of the cavalry, it was even better. You guys went a perfect 50 for 50. No loss on the cavalry whatsoever, minus a few bumps, bruises, some scrapes, some injuries. Jesus. Jonas and the pikemen, rougher. Not many dead. Of the 70 pikemen that you had ended up with, you only lost about 15, and none of the kids who had stayed. It was only any of the adults who had come in and ended up losing their lives. Many of the kids did receive some pretty serious injury. They may not be able to fight again, but at the very least, they were able to walk away with their lives. The worst off, however, were the archers. Apparently, they were not well prepared for the flying kobold and for the for that situation. And although they don't have many injured, that is where the biggest amount of dead come from. Of the 100 archers you went in with, you're walking away with about 70. But at the very least, all of your captains are well. Break the, or not Break, sorry. Break is the name of the city. I have his name written down here in my big book of NPCs. Burke! Burke, the male leader, or male captain of the infantrymen, definitely took some bumps and bruises along the way, but is looking well. Taylor, the female leader of the infantry, looks great. Captain Sturles of the cavalry, looking great. Jonas did well. And Carter of the leader of the archers, looking well as well. So all in all, you guys did really goddamn well in training this militia and making sure they were ready to take on the forces that they did. As such, they have spent the past 2 days helping the wounded, the healers that are part of your regiment. There aren't many. Have been expending spell slots around the clock, making sure that those that can be saved are being saved. Reforging equipment and reforging weapons, because there is a genuine feeling in the air that whatever happens next is gonna be a lot. Though I'm not sure, and you guys, this is where you get to tell me if you have at the very least told the captains or Ducky what the next step is. But at the very least, the men, your militia themselves still seem on edge. They seem to know that more is coming in the near future. So for 2 days, they've been recovering. You guys have been helping out the village of Hasper. Is there anything you want to be doing specifically? It is totally okay if that answer is no. I know I didn't present this to you guys beforehand, so.
I'll be helping, healing, attending to any wounded, basically anything.
Okay.
In that regard.
Armel, same.
Healing, and also at night, if there's any way to I'm sure the archers are all kind of hanging out together, and so I would just kind of like to be with the rangers, drinking and being remember the people we lost, and you know what I mean.
And they're incredibly grateful for your presence in that way. It's
as possible.
Armel is the life of a party when he wants to be, so
yeah,
they certainly appreciate it.
Good.
Also helping with any healing or rebuilding that I can.
Okay. And Trev, Cy, Marlon.
So same healing where I can, but more keeping all the soldiers focused so that they're not getting too on edge and letting the mind wander. Just being a presence, keeping everybody focused on securing the town, making sure everything's ready, and just taking away that whole what's next thing.
Okay.
I'm not sure what I'm doing.
Okay.
No doubt
my guess would
partying
probably
with
be in
me.
assisting.
Oh, if you want, I can help you with a restoration if you need it for the thing following you.
Yeah, let's work on that. That's a good idea.
Okay. Sounds good. And Trev, I just have you penciled in as working on the boat for the most part, or working on the airship.
Sure, that's fine. I mean, it's either that or just using his experience from a bunch of fights that he probably shouldn't have been in to try and give some moral support to the soldiers that might have had a rough go with it.
Plus, there's work to be done in the town as well. Rebuilding knocked down buildings and recovering from some of the fires. So
useful.
Exactly. There's handyman stuff to do. We'll come back to Marlon's Dark Passage in a second, but I do want to get something started so you guys have a little bit of time to think about it. Next, the first night after the battle, you guys fought the dragon in the morning. By around noon or so was when the full actual battle against the kobolds was taken care of. And I should say, for the most part, the kobolds were almost completely routed. Very few were actually able to escape in any way. So there's also been very large bonfires of scaly beings burning basically around the clock right now. but that first night is when you're really able to reconnect back with your family, back in the little hamlet you guys called home for so long. Helping you back when you were fighting the fire was your cousin Bilk, your oldest female cousin, who is the same age as you, actually. She is a woodworker by trade, and you could tell me, if you guys get along well, if you don't get along well, but for the most part, it seems like you guys are fine.
That's probably true.
The one person missing, though, is your cousin Borge. He is the next. Okay, hang on. I guess it's time for me to say the whole family here. So there's your Aunt Hira and your Uncle Tirk, and then their 6 kids. Your cousin Bilk, Borge, Bot, Banan, and Beer. Not Borsch.
It's like he's for a soup.
Delicious borscht.
Beer and Banan are twins. They are children still in the gnomish sense. Maybe 5 or 6 years old, so they are quite young for gnomes. Bot is a little bit younger than you, and yourself, Bilk and Borge are around the same age. Borge is missing, and when you stop by for dinner, and okay, cool. And when you stop by for dinner and to kind of reconnect, things are well, but his lack of presence there is definitely felt and noted. And after a bit of time, and after a glass of wine or two, let's say, your aunt gets talkative and tells you that Borge should actually be back tomorrow. He's picked up a new trade. And is coming to share the secrets of his new trade and his new master back in the village tomorrow. They wouldn't tell you what or what exactly it is, just simply that he has taken his artistic roots in a new magical direction.
Oh man, you learned how to juggle.
Oh no.
The next day...
I have a thought. I'm going to message Gary to see if I'm correct.
The next day...
Don't answer that question, damn it.
The next day, you step out of your little home to find your cousin has returned sometime in the night and set up a stand in the village center, or what a center for a little hamlet could possibly be. No.
Damn, that would have been really good though.
Yes, but no. He is standing over what looks almost like an anvil, except wrapped in leather. And he currently has what I guess you would call a customer. There is another gnome who has their arm up on the anvil, and Borge is very carefully with a small pin and a small silver hammer tapping an intricate pattern into this person's skin in various colors of ink. Apparently in your time away...
What I sent you today?
Huh?
Did you have this planned already?
I've had this planned for months.
That's so funny. This is the 1 year anniversary of our D&D tattoo.
No! I know!
That's hilarious.
It is. And is very clearly tattooing this individual. Now, you guys have all bumped across tattoos before. They're not particularly common, but they're not particularly rare either. But the one thing that's different is that you see no reset. Borsch doesn't seem to be changing the colors in his needle, but every time he strikes, there is a slightly different sheen to the color that is being laid in this person's arm. And upon closer inspection, you walk over, you greet him, he greets you with a big hug and a big smile, and then asks that you wait a second so you finish up what he's doing. You notice that the rose-like pattern that he is putting on this gnome's arm seems to shimmer and shake just a little bit, just with a faint glimmer of magical power. And he lets you know that he has been away for the past year and a half or so, learning the trades of magical tattooing, and allowing tattoos to be used to cast a wide variety of different magical effects, which I am about to send to all of you guys.
Yay!
Because as thanks to you all, and thanks for saving his home, he is willing to offer all of you a magical tattoo completely on the house.
Yeah.
So, oh man, that's cool.
I'm gonna get a green D20.
I'm just gonna speak for Marleman and say that he's gonna get a really ill-advised like petunia tattoo.
I'll have to write in what effect that has and what that does.
You know, it could just be just take an existing one and just put petunia and really flowery letters in the middle. It'll be great.
So to let you guys know how the stuff I just sent you works, you'll see 4 different things on there for the most part: size, location, intricacy, and power. Size and location are what they are. And for the most part, for these magical effects, for them to do what they need to do, they need to be on that location.
Right.
For intricacy and power, what that means is simply how long are you in the chair? And traditionally, how much they would cost. Because you're being offered one at cost or free of charge, you don't need to worry about that. But do keep in mind if there's other things you want to be doing. If you pick a more intricate tattoo, you're going to have a little bit less time to do it.
Wait, intricacy, if it's ornate, that's like a lot.
A long time.
Oh my god, there's actually so many.
Oh, wow.
Yes. I have spent a lot of time on this. Some of I should also shout out the D&D homebrew Reddit community. Some of them gave me some of the ideas for these, so thanks to those folks for helping me out with this.
Oh man, there's one that like I'm super wanting. Don't know if we have the time for it. Like if it's a really long time. How long are we gonna be? We won't have a lot of time. That's the only problem. Oh.
And just for the sake of breaking things up as well, Borge can probably do 3 to 4 intricate ornate tattoos in a day. So if you guys have multiple ornates that you want to do, there's going to be some bumping in.
Okay. Some of these are really good.
Thank you.
Damn, I feel like I gotta get the Dryad one, even if it's like not. The ability is good, but like, you know.
I mean, certainly.
I want to do that. I'm gonna do the Dryad one.
Okay. So mark down that you now have the mark of the Dryad along your left arm. And we will say for the purposes of this, you go first, so everyone else can also just see what it looks like and et cetera, et cetera. And then make sure to write down the effect as well.
I will, yeah.
What do you want next?
Oh, I was just saying, tattoo of major protection is good for squishy friends.
Yes.
We'll let Morgan know.
You are correct.
I remember we had I might need to be reminded about something that we talked about before, like after our previous session.
Yeah, what's up?
I totally forget.
What's up?
I think I remember us finding, or like us talking about something else that I may have found after.
Yes, and I was going to have
completely forgot.
The Gauntlets of Giantkin.
Oh right.
I'll find it again. Oh, sorry. Gauntlets of Ogre kind, not
right.
Giantkin.
I'm gonna put it in my spells.
You bump up your strength score. I know that. I can spell. Gauntlets of Power. Boost strength score by 3 and advantage on strength saves.
Good lord.
Are you thinking, what's up?
Preposterous.
How juice is your strength now?
Extremely.
Marleman, the thing that you missed is that Nix's cousin, who's been away, has learned how to do magical tattooing.
Yeah, I've got my
Okay, cool.
while I'm moving around. So I heard the whole thing. Now I'm just looking through the list of tattoos, and I'm like, fuck.
There are many. Sai, what are you leaning towards?
I am between the one for major protection.
I can't really hear you. Can you say it again?
Can't hear a word you're saying, Si.
Yeah, like on the struggle bus today.
Oh, gotcha.
As you can tell, my picture's frozen.
Yep.
I'm between major protection
Thank you.
and the Maw Dragon.
Ah, yes, the Maw of the Dragon.
Which
Nice.
I'm really leaning towards.
Give yourself the ability to have a breath weapon.
I was actually thinking,
Of the arm version?
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you basically just give yourself a right, like Trev would have.
So
What
what's
about
the
you?
deal with getting more than one?
It would then start to cost you money and time.
Okay.
Well, the one that I wanted the most is like is like the one I cannot have, which is unfortunate.
Which is?
The wings of ink, because I wear heavy armor, so
Yes.
it would not allow me to have
No,
that.
unfortunately not.
That's so cool though.
Right. Some of these are so sick. Like the mark of the gas lets you like make a crazy attacking arm.
Mm-hmm.
Like
These are really cool.
just imagine like it exploding your clothing and you being like, "Let's fucking go."
Yep.
How much does he charge for an extra one?
It depends on the intricacy and a couple of other factors.
So, or you get the Maw and then ask for the major protection? How much
Okay.
does that?
So he'll give you them all for free, and it's up to you to pick the color. The mark of protection, let me find that, of major or minor? Major. That will cost, I have the cost breakdown here, 250 gold pieces and 8 hours of your time.
It's not that bad.
I want the Tattoo of Flame.
Tattoo of Flame, which one's that one?
That is.
Is it the cast?
The caster to cast Firebolt cantrip at will as a bonus action.
See, it's funny. I wrote both Tattoo of Chilling and Tattoo of Flame in there, and under the consideration that I bet Morgan's going to jump at this, and Craig might jump at this.
Yeah, the
Cold chill.
the chilling
Yeah.
one is really cool.
I mean, they're both basically the same thing. They're just, do you want to do it fire? Do you want to do it gold?
Constitution is your casting modifier. Oh, maybe I won't actually. My con is not great. Oh, actually, my con is pretty good. Yeah, I'm still gonna go with that one, I think.
Okay. So Tattoo of Flame is yours. Mark that down. Mark down what you can do with it.
Alrighty.
Nyx, Trev, Phaedra, what are you feeling?
I have a similar problem of wanting two of them, and I think the problem is related to one of them just being too universally good.
Which is?
Major protection is very, very good.
It is! I know it is!
Like, there's that one that I would like because I came too close to dying a few too many times, and then there's, I would like, Mark of Telepathy, so I'd like to have the conversation.
Those are two that I'm looking strongly at again. Yeah.
At, like, what I gotta do to, make that happen. I mean, money is not a huge object. I've got plenty.
Yeah, you guys have plenty of money.
so-
It's just time, really.
Yeah. I mean,
And he is totally willing to do that. Which one do you want to be the one you get for free? Which one do you want to be the one that's paid for?
to be completely honest, I'll pay for the more expensive one. I've got fucking money.
Okay. I will roll for the market protection money then.
Yeah, I just want to like.
So that's actually going to end up costing you around $350.
Yeah.
Or 350 gold.
That's fine.
And have to roll for time. Sorry, give me 1 second. So as a peak, but it is only going to take you. Only going to take him 3 hours.
There we go. I'm paying for an express job.
Yeah.
Always
So
the best thing to do with a tattoo, of course.
yes. So the way this works is the gold goes up by 50, and with depending on the level of intricacy, is what die I'm using to roll for it. For an ornate tattoo, I'm using a D10.
Let's see.
And time is always done on a D6.
Mhm.
Wait, but I'm gonna get 8 hours.
Can I do a
Because
major,
you got a 6 plus 2.
Can I do a major protection as well?
Sure. It's going to cost you... Fuck! So he's running a little bit low on power, and he's starting to look at his things and realizing that he's going to need to replace a lot due to the intricacy of what you guys are asking for. So he is going to charge you, God, what is that? 750 gold pieces.
No problem.
But time-wise, it is going to take the full 8 hours.
God damn it. God.
Sorry.
I'll go and collect leaves or whatever you need, you know?
He kind of looks at you and goes, oh no, it's not leaves or anything like that. I just need to go and buy a new pin. I'll need to go and get this re-enchanted. I'll need to go and take care of that. And probably buy some new inks as well. So, my apologies, but business ain't cheap, you know?
No, that's fine, dog. Thanks for the hookup anyway.
Yeah, of course. All right. And Phaedra, what do you got?
I'm trapped between 3, and I'm trying to figure out which ones make the most sense. Also, like locations, seeing if like any overlap or anything.
Mhm.
I like major protection, but I also really like the true sight one because that was clutch, and that is a high level spell from what I remember. So it would be nice to always kind of have it, even if it's only for myself.
True.
Just in case it ends up being like, let me quick check it. But also Dragon Maw just because it's cool. But those are probably pretty expensive. So I'm trying to figure out like which ones make the most sense.
Nix, are you also going with the telepathy and the mark protection?
I'm not gonna do
Can I see
both,
the
I
mark
don't
protection?
think.
Okay.
I don't know. I also kind of like Mark of the Elven Kind. That'd be kind of neat. And I also was wondering for where is
Kind
it?
is a good one.
No, I can't find it. Oh, for Mark of the Warrior is the +1 to attack rolls, +1 to hit.
Let me take a look at it and see
or
how I wrote
+1
that.
to damage.
That's a +1 to hit.
Okay, that's kind of nice. But I only use melee weapons. Maybe I'll do that. I'll do Mark of the Warrior.
Okay. And that's a super simple one. You're only in the chair for like 45 minutes total.
Yeah.
He fits you in between his long stretch of marker protections.
Yeah. Yeah, my AC is actually kind of nutty, so while getting it higher is always good. Felt like I should do.
Being able to hit things well is never a bad thing.
Very true, since
I began to get tired of having 16 AC.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm tired of having like 12 AC.
Yep.
Well, okay, how much AC do I have?
So that takes everyone, correct?
I think so.
I think I
Is
want
it
to get a
possible
different one
to get-
too.
Is it possible to get 3, or is that too long? Because one of them
So
would be ornate.
keep in mind, you've already added an extra day and a half onto your stay here in Hasper.
Damn. Okay. Alright, I guess I won't get the ornate one just for quickness.
Okay.
I'll get True Sight and Dragon Maw.
I mean, both of those are ornate, I believe.
Nope. They are?
Yeah, Mother Dragon and Eye of True Sight are both ornate. They are both incredibly powerful tattoos.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I was misreading them. My apologies.
No, you're fine.
So all 3 of the ones I want. Fun. Lovely. Okay, cool. No, it's fine.
I mean, yeah, that's probably why you want.
I was misreading the ones above and below them, so I was looking at like size and medium versus like intricacy. That was
Gotcha.
oh man. damn it. Okay, I guess I'll get True Sight, and then if we have time to go back at some point.
I mean, yeah, I have now created this character who might just be out in the world. You might bump across him somewhere, sometime else, and you can get more. He might even have a bigger menu at the time.
Like, does it make like? I just think True Sight's really strong and really useful. So, like, my AC's 16, but I've got a lot of health, and I think I'll be okay. I've got curing abilities, so if there's any one person who'd be probably okay to not have the highest AC in the world.
So there you go. So yes, essentially what I've already done is I have budgeted you guys to actually all get an ornate over the 2-day period I'd already mentioned. It's just the bonus stuff you guys have asked for is added another day and a half.
How much money did we get from the dragon?
Oh, right.
Because I put that into my pocket.
Let me pull it up.
I thought we didn't get any money. I thought we got just the items.
No, you got 2,000 gold pieces as well.
Oh.
Each?
No.
No.
How many of us are there? 5?
1, 2, 3,
6.
4, 6. So 2,000 divided by 6.
It's not quite even.
It's like roughly 350. It's not quite.
Just throwing this out there.
333, 333.
Yeah, let me get an exact weird number.
Hang on. Gray was trying to say something, although I know it's hard to hear him.
We could just turn that into the tattoo fund for everybody, and then whatever's remaining, just leave as a group fund.
Sure. Good way.
Okay.
Tattoo fund.
Oh, okay.
So that does mean that what was it? 350 for Trev, 250 for Sai, 700 for Aramil comes out of that 2,000 already, leaving you guys with a current balance of.
It was 350, 250, 700?
Yeah.
700 left, I believe.
700 left. There you go.
Maths.
Never my strong suit.
Arrest this man.
Yeah. So, Fader, you just getting the one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Barlowman, so are you just getting the one as well, or are you going for a second one?
I think I want to get... Listen, my AC is so low.
Yeah.
13.
Fair.
I'm thinking I'll also get that major protection.
Okay. It's going to cost... Hey, not too bad. 250 and 5 hours. So, you've now completed that second day, basically. So there's 2 additional days added onto your time in Hasper. But you all get exactly what you want, with the exception of Phaedra, from the Tattoo Man.
Question: does that count as a spell slot, or is it like a free spell slot?
No, this is a free spell slot, essentially.
Thank you.
Wait, which one is that?
What?
Because I got the one that grants me True Sight, so I was trying to strategically have the thing that doesn't require me to have it prepared all the time.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so same with you, Marlman, you just have that Firebolt cantrip bonus action.
And then +2 to AC and +2 to... Is that all saving throws?
Yes. That's just a +2 to saving throws.
Fucking need that shit.
Oh, right. Forgot about that. God, that thing's disgusting.
Yep. Keep in mind, that does not count for death saves.
Nope. Didn't think so.
Alrighty then. So, I hope you guys liked your... and also, what's even better is that now, so everybody who got a Tattoo of Major Protection, those can be placed anywhere. So I'm going to ask you, where do you have them placed?
Know it.
Did Arno, you're
On the butt.
Tramp, stamp.
Can I say that mine's on the head, but can I request what it's kind of specifically looks like?
I mean, it's an eye on your forehead. From
it
there,
isn't.
you can.
Can it
True Sight one was just an eye. It said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if I can make it look like a circlet kind of extended,
Sure.
with the
Add some
Yeah,
more.
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally fine. Trev, yours also goes on your head, so.
Mm-hmm. I've been thinking about it.
Okay.
What does major protection look like? Does it matter?
So the symbol for the major protection is a 4-pointed. Sorry, Trev. A 4-pointed diamond that is shallower on the bottom, with a circle around it.
Trev is upset by this.
I know. I'm sorry.
Can I just say it has a tree on it too?
Sure. I mean, you can get that, diamond with the circle around it with a tree in the middle of the diamond if you want.
That's exactly what I want, and I'll put it on my chest somewhere.
Sweet. This is the right center, dead center of your chest.
Also, I'm gonna be shirtless for a while with my new sleeve and chest tattoo.
It's worth noting there is no healing period on these. Once it is done, it is done.
Nice.
There's no chance of infection or anything like that. You don't need to moisturize.
You don't gotta apply ointment every
Nope.
few hours.
I'm like showing off my guns to the gnomes, you know.
You do have a crowd of kids who are just kind of going, "Ooh, mommy, can I get one?" No. Oh.
Mommy, your voice.
I'll say too, if you practice really hard, you could do this, and then I'll turn into a bird and then like flap around and then like shoot out and
Nice.
Wow.
You are.
You,
cool kids.
they are
Just Mark of the War. I don't think Mark of the Warrior had to be placed anywhere
just had to be on your arm. That's all.
on my arm. Does it look particularly like something?
So the Mark of the Warrior is a. Let me pull up my thing. Where is Mark of the Warrior? Here it is. It is a 2-sided axe with a long handle.
Okay.
For the record, I want to get that major protection rune or whatever.
Yep.
Right on my neck, right here.
Okay. You Cody Rhodes it and stick it right
Yeah,
on the
I
base
was
of your
gonna
neck.
say, I'm trying to avoid a Cody Rhodes situation pretty directly with mine.
But I should say your firebolt cantrip is a sun with a pulsating red center that goes right in the middle of your palm.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's gonna hurt.
It doesn't feel great.
It's just healed afterwards. Like you don't
Yes,
have.
it immediately heals. But you remember the pain. What about you, Sai?
So on the right hand and arm for the moth
Mm-hmm.
is a stylized mix of bronze and blue dragon.
Ooh. All right. Nice.
And on the opposite, so the arm
So, yeah, so-
my
so
hand I have my shield on
Yep.
is the mark of protection, and inside the diamond is the
Nice. Hell yeah. So now you have one arm that is just a coiled blue and bronze dragon that ends in your hand. And the other one you have the diamond symbol.
That's cool.
I made this shit up.
And what about you, Trev?
Hey, it's gonna take me a while.
Yeah. No problem. We'll move on and come back around. So it's side episode, Marleman's Dark Passenger. So while some of your friends are at the tattoo stall, getting their work done, Sai is halfway through having his dragon completed. Phaedra and Marleman, you guys take some time, and Phaedra, you cast Greater Restoration on Marleman. And we'll say, for the purposes of this, you already have your Mark of True Sight done, so you can turn that on for this as well.
Sure, just a check.
Yeah. So you flip it on, you cast Greater Restoration, and what you see in this, kind of pulsating, wild acid trip of vision is this dark shape that reacts to your magic and kind of pulls away from Marleman to an extent before almost swinging around his head and looking at you, almost snake-like. And as it looks upon you, it now understands that you can see it and it can see you. And
Oh no.
for a brief moment, you have an, oh no, oh god no,
Pissed
what's
off
about to happen
Oh,
So, from my perspective, all I see is her just looking tremendously shook.
Yep. Before
I'm doing my best to not let it show in the face to not scare Marlon. I'm trying.
before like a wave of water, it just completely collapses into blue and black energy and vanishes. I now get to rip up a sticky note that I have had attached to my D&D stuff for 3 years.
3 years.
What?
Which is the next time Marleman dies, a royal bloodline ends.
Oh my
What?
god, right.
You rolled a wild magic surge
was
3
so-
years ago.
So long ago. Holy shit.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
That was like a different book, wasn't it?
Basically, it was
Okay.
a while ago.
I'll describe and draw as best to my abilities of what I saw to explain to Marlon.
So it's
Yeah.
gone now?
It is gone.
It is gone.
Cool.
She has banished this basically shadow assassin that was attached to you.
Can
waiting for the opportunity to strike.
Can I
Wait
do
for
like
me
a
to die
medicine?
so we can go kill.
Can I do like a medicine check on him to make sure there's like no adverse effects or anything? Like if it's I was trying to see like if it was being like a parasite or anything like that.
Sure. He's fine. Some of the sleep stuff he has been reporting for a while suddenly dramatically improves. But for the most part,
Slightly less bags under the eyes.
exactly. This like feeling of doom, Marleman, that you weren't even 100% noticed it was there, is now gone.
Oh, I feel so much better.
Yay.
Yeah. And technically, Trev, head tattoo means neck and head, so you can put
Yeah,
that
the neck
quill.
is where it's going to be, like,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
somewhere on there.
Cool.
Yeah, the telepathy tattoo is just going to be like a quill or something, like a feather. The other one I'm still working on, and that one
Yeah.
might not be for
Oh,
anybody except
wait.
for you.
It
Yep,
could have
that's
been
fine.
anywhere on the head.
Well, no, not yours.
Oh.
Not yours.
The mark of telepathy could be. Yours was an eye on the forehead.
Okay, because in my defense, an eye on the back of the head would have been really funny.
You're correct. It wouldn't do so great with the magic part. But
No, but it'd be really funny.
yes. And that's everybody's tattoo.
Somebody will Sharpie the eye on the back of your head in the middle of the next episode.
Yes.
You fell asleep at the party
Fucking-
first.
Fucking word. Respect. So, you guys. So that means that you guys spend a total of 4 days in Hasper instead of 2. You get all of this. Really, it is quite beautiful. The shimmering and the stylization is really captivating. And for those of you who don't have tattoos previously, you spend a good deal of time just sort of staring at them for a while, just kind of lost in it. During this time, Trev, you spend a lot of time with the airship. You spend a lot of time with the ship that you quickly learn that it, at the very least, used to have a name. None of the ship logs that you find in the cabin refer to it by name, just as the Dawn. And written on the side of the boat, you can see some nice calligraphy and nice paint job that says the Dawn. Yeah. The bit that was the rest of the name has been ripped off and gone. You know, probably where this thing crashed. It was lost in the crash. So you guys are fully welcome to name your own boat and name your own airship. And you guys can discuss that as you want. But when it comes to making it fly, Trev, make me an intelligence check.
My strong suit, absolutely.
Can any of us assist him?
Sure. Roll with advantage.
Oh, hey, that could have been worse. Oh, well, now it might be better. Nope, that could have been worse. 17.
17, not bad. All of the things to make it fly are still there. And
Okay.
you are actually able to relatively quickly wrap your head around how to make it fly, how to pilot it, how to make it all go. The only thing that needs to be done is some rather extensive body work and to put a new sail on it. But for the most part, it's ready to fly.
Sweet.
And you can fly it.
Also cool. That part's
Um,
really cool.
So you then spend, a couple of days refitting the body, taking lumber from the town as there's a lot of lumber that is being kind of brought in to help rebuild the town. So you're able to kind of sneak some off and use it for the ship. It's definitely a tricolor job. The wood that you have available is not the exact same wood as the hull of the ship as it currently is. But you're relatively simply able to do a patch job, make it all ship shape, ready to go. And on the third day, you're able to comfortably make the dawn rise again. You guys, we'll say Sai is in the chair right now, having his market protection finished up. When you guys see from the hill that blocks the entrance to the mines, this schooner-like shape, without a sail right now, so not the most stable, but definitely flying airship comes arcing over its side propellers, lifting it up off the ground, and coming gently drifting into town and landing just on the outskirts with your, I can only assume, very excited drow friend behind the wheel.
Check this out!
Yeah. Was there any way to tell what the original name was? Like, was it like completely decimated?
Past dawn, completely gone.
Okay. Can I ask a couple of people in the town, see if any of them had heard about an airship or anything?
Make an investigation check.
Okay. Pretty good at those.
Really?
She heard Craig go, check this out, and she started wagging her tail.
19.
What a good dog.
No. No one has ever heard of this ship. No one has ever seen this ship before, especially. Airships are not particularly common in Pelin, to the point that, some of the older gnomes, the Greybeards for sure, one of them, a real wizened old cute, kind of walks over and goes, I haven't seen one of these in 800 years!
Oh gosh, okay.
Old man McGurkin.
Yeah.
that long.
Were you looking for gold?
Yes, searching for gold in these hills.
Black gold.
Yeah. But yeah, no one's even heard of this.
Okay, I have to double check the spell.
And I will say, the ship is old. Like, the only reason that it is not, like, rotted away to timber and to just dust is because of the many magical enchantments left on it. But you guys can tell it is old.
I can try casting legend lore on it, because it doesn't say that I have to have the whole name.
Yeah, you certainly can.
Word.
I mean,
sure. Just to see if I can get anything useful out of it.
I
Yeah.
can find out about the horrible dark past.
I was about to say, the two of you could do this side by side if you want to.
See, in my mind, I'm thinking the other way around, which is, what if you do need the name and all you have is the Dawn and you're thinking about some other ship?
Yeah.
The Dawn.
Name or describe a person, place, or object. So, like, the fact that I can describe it, that would suggest to me that I can try the spell at least. I don't know how well it'll work, but we'll try it.
Let me take a look. Okay. Curtain Tales, Forgotten Stories, or even Secret Lore. Okay.
If you don't have stuff prepared and want to send it to me later, that's also fine.
No. I will. I know what this ship is. I know its story. I just got to find the right way to phrase it. Here is exactly what comes to you, sentence by sentence. The dawn once bloomed above the clouds, carrying the great adventurer Tirk Highwind from place to place on every joy he could possibly imagine, until one day the great calamity struck him down and left the dawn buried in dusk.
Rip.
Do I know that name, the guy? Does that sound
God,
like?
no.
Okay, I was gonna say, is that like?
Absolutely not.
I wasn't sure if it was like a mythical hero or
You
something. I
haven't
don't
played Final Fantasy in this world, unfortunately.
Come on. I made you guys an airship, and I did the thing. You know what I am.
I'm listening to Setsu's theme right now.
Yeah.
It has been playing since I started piloting this.
I will repeat that to the group.
Okay.
When next.
Yep.
We're together again.
And for anybody who wants to take notes on that, it is Tirk Highwind. You need me to spell the last name, but Tirk is T-Y-R-U-K.
Do we know what race this Tirk was? Is it
that part you can't
gather
get
by the height of the door jams if this was a gnome?
The way I imagine the spell working is it looks like I'm seeing the pages of a book, so I don't know how much I visually get versus
exactly. It's all just like a sentence basically comes to you. Make the DC on this won't be particularly hard. Make a wisdom check, Trev.
Fucking A. I'm slightly better at those. Well, nah. Modified 4.
Definitely one of the smaller races.
One, homie.
Oh, that was a natural one. Okay, you have no fucking idea.
Yeah, I got
you have no idea whatsoever. A goddamn ogre could have used this ship. You have no
that'd
clue.
Be cool though. I'm fixated on how cool that would have been.
Yeah. But so the difference between Grim Psychometry and Legend Lore is that Legend Lore, you literally just pick up the Forgotten Tales and that is translated over to you. Grim Psychometry, you literally see
some bad shit.
So you could probably Grim Psychometry it if it has a dark history, which I'm not saying it does or doesn't.
I mean, there's also very little reason to not do that. I just need to remember how it works.
You just lay a hand on it and ritual for 10 minutes.
So was the name of the ship not... It was just the Dawn?
No.
That's what people keep calling it.
You were able... Yes, exactly. It was what the ship was referred to by people, but it was not the full name of the ship.
Okay. Let's see if I can try to piece it together.
Wisdom ability check based on the results stuff. Okay. Cool. That's way better. 18.
Word. In this way, you do learn its name. It is the Dawn of Discovery. It is... So its dark history has two things, and of course things go backwards with Grim Psychometry, so you see the last thing first. The first thing you see is the crashing of the dawn, which is very sad.
Is there a dragon there?
There is no dragon. What you do see is a gigantic swirling storm that seems to have eyes, that is actively attempting to bring this ship down. You can see the dwarven figure of Tirk Highwind fighting with the wheel, trying to keep it aloft. But this storm itself just seems to be reaching out with cloudy hands, dragging it down.
Is it a big ass elemental, or I guess I wouldn't necessarily know that.
We'll come back to that.
I don't know shit about shit.
And you see finally the dawn basically dive bombing it. You see these things in reverse, so you actually see the dawn going up, but you know what I mean. You finally see it being slammed into the ground by this watery, cloudy fist and left scattered. And then you see a lot of time pass as dust and sand kind of builds up in it before a very young blue dragon finds the husk of it and drags it away as a prize. And that's what you get there. The other bit of it is you learn that the Dawn of Discovery is the very first airship. The reason you find that out is because you see the rich history before it of failures that led to the death of a lot of people. A lot of failures that caused things to crash into the ground, crash into people, engines exploding, propellers flying away. Just a real nightmare situation.
Right.
But one thing you do notice is that where this ship was made, which is this beautiful marble city full of dwarves and dragonborn with a large glass dome over the entire thing.
Interesting.
And that's what you get from that. So, Big Ass Elemental. trying to think of what the right role here would be, or if the right role is for you to say it to someone else and for them to make a roll.
Almost certainly that, because I
Say
don't
it.
know anything about
Yeah.
anything.
Marlon, make a history check.
Yep.
Oh, could be me.
All my dice are on the floor. Why?
It's not a particularly high DC, so.
That's a 17 plus whatever my history is.
It's pretty good, I
which
think.
I think is.
Yeah.
I think it's plus 3.
With a 20, you've been... Okay.
Plus 2.
19. Still
19.
totally okay. You've been learning a lot recently about the primal chaoses and when the chaoses are allowed to operate within their full strength. And they have been referred to before as the true elemental.
I see.
And this sounds familiar.
Sounds an awful lot like somebody I know.
That's all I got.
Okay. This is absolutely Astral Dad. He was the elemental man that destroyed this ship.
Oh, goody!
Yeah.
Are you saying this out loud to us?
Of course. Yeah.
Okay, alright. Oh boy.
Well, hopefully it won't be dangerous for us to fly around in it then.
Yeah,
I don't know. He doesn't seem to want to be in my life, so.
No, that's true.
I was gonna say, like, the last couple attempts of talking with him, you've been talking to,
He hasn't been there at all.
No. You've been talking to Neve or...
Yeah.
really not into this whole absentee.
No.
But you guys do now know that the full ship's name is the Dawn of Discovery.
Alright,
There we go.
cool.
Is Sarek on this ship?
Do we know the name? Like, I assume he described the place with the dwarves and the dragonborn.
Mhm.
Would that be anything familiar?
I mean,
I mean,
Trev
I'm just gonna
recognized
say
it.
it was the city of Glass or whatever the thing that we like crossed paths with the mention of a while ago.
Oh right, yeah.
Like right? Like,
The Lost City of Glass.
that's the one. Yes.
Ah,
Oh,
One of those places where I think I have unfinished business, but I've been wrong before.
we have a laundry list of like a lot of places to visit at some point.
Yes, you do. Because lore gets lost when we don't play all the time, I will just fill you guys in on everything you've heard about the Lost City of Glass. So, Lost City of Glass.
It's lost, it's made of glass.
Not exactly. It is the most culturally and technologically advanced city that many have ever heard of. It was lost to something called the Calamity about 1,000 years ago or so. No one knows where it went or what happened to it. Just one day, as part of the Calamity, it was gone and there was a crater in the ground. That was it. It is known to be the home, the original ancestral home of the Dragonborn. And that's why many of the Dragonborn in Pelin now are roaming tribes of migrants for the most part, because they have no central place to be anymore. Corin Dawnhammer is said to be from the City of Glass. She was introduced to you as the fallen paladin of the City of Glass. And the last thing before now that you had heard about it was that there were some rumors that where that crater was has been lost to time. Some think that it is where Break is built now. Some thinks that it's outside where Jerselheim is. The one place that people know it is not is Lathander, since Lathander is the only other city from that time that has survived. So pretty good idea that those are not in the same place. But many believe that part of the Calamity was also the Sundering, the legendary thing that created the Ashen Wastes to the north of Palin. Many think that the city was probably beyond World's Edge at some point in time, and that the Great Crater could be found there. But where it actually is has been lost to maps.
Okay. Alright, well, we've just found a very priceless historical relic. What dumb name are we going to give it?
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Because
I think it would be very funny for us to be the problem solvers, and then the boat is named the problem. Like, but that's just me being an ass. You know what I mean?
oh, it's pretty good. I like it.
I like the idea of
Bodie McBoat.
Oh,
absolutely. Let's just call it Putt Putt and end it.
you are all sinners.
Yeah, see, like I like
what's
the
that
Dawn of
game in
Discovery.
Putt-Putt
I like
where
that
you have
name.
to fly the airplane, whatever that's called, Red Baron or some shit. I don't know.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay. Well, we named our ship the Pearl.
I played so much Putt-Putt Goes to the Moon. Like, side note.
Still gotta do something.
I like the idea of keeping Dawn as a part of the name, but only because it's like its origin bit. But I think you could do something like what was the joke? The joke I had in the original one was like the take on Phoenix Down, but it's just Phoenix Dawn.
I was gonna say, what about like it also said dawn to dusk, so like Phoenix Dusk.
It was called Bear Stormin'.
Yeah, there we go.
What?
Just call it what I call all of my iPhones. It's just a variation of the word dinosaurs.
There's also like hour-long YouTube videos on playthroughs of Bear Stormin'. So
This sounds right.
I know what I'm gonna watch before bed.
I'm really bad at naming things,
Yeah.
so I would just literally use the name it already has.
Yeah, I actually kind of like the name it already has.
Same.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna.
We can change
Argue
it to like
with
the full name, like the Dawn of Discovery.
We could call it the New Dawn of Discovery.
New Dawn is a Twilight book, I'm pretty sure.
New Dawn.
Breaking Dawn of Discovery.
Breaking Dawn, the
Breaking
airship.
Dawn, and that you knew that. My goodness.
Yeah, it's New Moon in Breaking Dawn. I
There
also
we go.
hate the fact that I knew these things, but
I was
Alright.
subjected to
Dawn
watch
of
all of
Twilight
them the past week.
Discovery. Great. Bears.
I watched one of them a long time ago. I don't remember which.
That's good.
Yeah.
I wish I could forget them.
Eh. Don't worry, they're very forgettable films.
They are. They are, in
You
fact.
will.
I've read them, unfortunately. and-
Oof.
Oh, I
Yeah.
read all of them.
Yeah.
Oof.
We should call it the New Dawn, the Rediscovery.
Reckoning.
The
Re-reckoning,
rediscovering.
yeah.
Oh no! New Dawn Revengeance.
Colon subsistence.
Rediscoverance.
Yeah.
Dante from Devil
Sai, you have any input? We can't really hear you, so.
Unearthed discovery.
Is
Jay?
Jay? Oh, I heard
Oh.
a sound in the distance.
Hard to hear.
Yeah, you might want to boot out and rejoin. We can't hear you at all.
Your
And
microphone
like something
sounds like it's
simple,
in a
like just
tunnel.
like Dawnbreaker or something is perfectly
Ooh.
fine for our ship.
Is Dawnbreaker someone's
Dawnbreaker-
sword? Like, that's why I kept
Yes.
thinking it was Dawnbreaker, but I was like, I feel like that's someone's, like, weapon or
I
something.
do believe it is an Elder Scrolls weapon.
I think it is. It's like
Whatever.
the sword that you get
So
from
is everything else.
Doesn't, yeah, I mean, so is everything else, yeah.
a temple of
Hi,
Mars.
it's me. I'm an idiot. I just realized this is in fact the second thing that I have named in this campaign with Dawn in it. Fuck
Yeah,
me.
Dawnbringer is my
Yeah, Dawnbringer is
Oh.
Trev's sword.
Ah.
my,
Yeah,
my,
Mr. Dawn.
currently
Nope.
on loan weapon.
Isn't there also a Dawn Hammer?
Well, yes, the Dawn Hammer is something that Fader has.
Yes.
There's
Or
a
no.
lot of Dawn here.
Isn't
Well,
Dawnhammer fucking core?
No, sorry.
Yeah, right.
Yes. No, what Fader has is the
The fire.
Fire Maul.
Fire Maul. Thank you.
Yeah. Dawnhammer's a god, right?
Yeah, Dawn Hammer. The Dawn Hammer is a god.
That was it.
Yeah, but what's
That
that
is color.
name though? Corin Dawn Hammer or something.
Oh. We just heard.
Yeah, what's
her
the Black
name.
Dragonborn's name?
Now I'm forgetting her last name. Why did this happen to me?
There's a non-zero chance it's Dawnhammer.
It is. I believe it is in fact Dawn Hammer.
All right, so maybe the Dawn thing.
Yeah, maybe I just like the term Dawn too much.
It's, you know,
I vote that
very
we call it
fancy.
the airship of rediscoverying.
Oh yes, the AOR.
Kingdoms of airship rediscoverying.
You are all sinners.
Uh-oh.
Just put him in jail.
I put him in jail.
Oh, bring him back.
Does anybody have an animal they want to name this one?
Puma.
I don't know.
I like owl bears, but they don't fly.
I just meant like a real life animal because the boat was named after Pearl.
Oh,
Yes.
I name everything Pearl, and if I can't name it Pearl, I name it after literally whatever I am reading or playing. So, like, my Harvest Moon that I've been playing is all of my cows are League of Legends characters. Look!
Fucking A.
Good.
Is one of them Alistair?
No, I've
He
got
should be because he's a cow.
He is in fact a cow.
Yeah.
I've got Senna and Nami and Lux and Brahm is my alpaca.
If we're not
Oh my
careful,
God.
some idiot's just gonna name this thing the fucking Blackjack because he likes Final Fantasy VI a lot. So we need to stop me before I get out of control.
I vote we call it. Wait, let me think. You can ban me until I come up with it.
Okay.
I can have some bond me until I come up with this.
Something having to do with Tony is my vote.
Tony? Oh.
Tony.
Tony.
Ah, the Tony Hawk, of course.
The Murph. The Murph.
The Murph.
The Tony Hawk,
It's
bro.
the Murph Mobile.
Perfect.
Oh no. This ancient lost relic of time was found in
Everyone get on board Murph.
I don't know. I think Ryan and I got it. Whatever.
Wait, what did you guys say? Oh, is it Tony?
That's also good.
Oh my God!
It's
Yes.
something with Tony, and I said the Tony Hawk.
Oh.
Fuck.
at the end.
It flies. It's named after a real life animal. There you go.
Because those are.
Do a sick 900, or at least it will be able to after I learn how to fly it better.
Can you guys name it the Tony?
I would love to call it the Tony.
Yeah, let's do
Whatever
it.
you want to call it.
I
Or
like
the
the
Murph
Tony
Mobile.
Hawk.
I like Tony Hawk, actually.
Yeah.
I'm with that. We're gonna do kickflips across the sky.
Okay.
Yeah, dude.
I am writing into my notes that your boat's name, that your
It's
airship's
Tony
name,
with an I.
Yeah, I
is
was gonna
Tony with an
say.
I.
You
T-O-N-I.
have to spell it like Tony, like the dog,
Yep.
but Tony Hawk.
Yep.
My first instinct for
Is it
was
the Tony Hawk or
I think
just
so.
Tony Hawk?
I think it's
the.
It's
the
the.
Okay.
I think the is important.
with an E at the end, so it's like
Wait.
And if anybody, and if we ever introduce this boat to anybody and say like, oh, it's called the Tony Hawk, and they'll say, wait, why does it say the Dawn right there? And I'll say, that's an acronym, and then never explain it.
You can also paint over.
yeah.
No,
Okay.
No, we can't.
that sounds like work.
Jason, do you sign off on this?
150 fucking %.
All right.
All right, great. Good.
Cool.
In
Cool.
the distance.
I
Well,
would say I know that we have chosen the name. This is just what popped into my head first. It's not. It would not have worked. But after he was like, "Oh yes, it was the first ever airship," I was like, "Oh, the hashtag first," which also
No, it would be the all lowercase first.
I think Marleman prestidigitates a bottle of champagne.
I mean, you also have bottles of Friar
there-
Yingling's ye old fucking
Oh shit,
river
you're right.
sludge. You could
I'm
also just
absolutely-
get a bottle of champagne. Like,
I'm
it
absolutely
does
christening
exist.
this boat, this airship.
Word.
I still like the idea of it being a prestidigitation because
The
everything
bottle
I do
of
is
champagne?
prestidigitation.
All right, hang on. Let me roll my d20.
Fuck. That's also why I like to do this.
Nope.
That's funny.
Good. So I prestidigitate myself a bottle of champagne, and I shake it up, and I dub thee, christen thee, the Tony Hawk, smash.
Oh, the Tony
Yeah.
Hawk Smash is the sequel. We'll get there later.
And as you smash, it is now, 4 days later. You guys have kind of settled up everything. The ship is fully rebuilt. The village has actually come together to create a new sail for you guys. A lot of the seamstresses came together to kind of sew you guys a beautiful new white sail to go up with a symbol that you guys can discuss off mic and figure out what you want that symbol to be.
It's a doge.
Yeah.
It's just a doge face. Got it. Okay. Yeah. And Marleman crashes this beautiful fake bottle of champagne against the bow of the ship. There is levity in you guys for the first time in a long time. This is a happy moment. You have a thing that you can do. That's great. And who am I, the DM, to take that away from you? Except,
We got a lot of
you all feel this deep, unsettling rumble beneath your feet.
Oh no.
That can only be described as the earth itself has decided it doesn't like that you're standing on it anymore. Those of you with lower constitution and lower dex, are actually all of you save Nyx and Trev. I need you guys to roll a dexterity saving throw just to see if you fall over.
What?
Reasons for the other two.
The Earth is my friend, though.
It's not today.
6. No. I fell over.
6. Phaedra's on the ground.
I am not balanced.
16. Armel, you're standing.
The Earth is my friend.
Yep.
That's fair.
Marlon?
Oh, I misunderstood. I thought you meant it was the other way. Oh, well, that's good. That's a 10 total.
You're on the ground. Sai? You are on the ground. So, 3 of you are still standing while the other 3 of you are suddenly jolted to the ground by this sudden cracking through the earth. Nyx, the only reason you don't fall is because you're nimble enough to kind of feel those changes and not really affect you. And Trev, you don't fall because you don't even notice that the ground is shaking itself. Your legs have gone lock stiff, but perfectly balanced for a variety of reasons. And before all of you can blink, from beneath the disruptor cloak comes into his hands both swords. One out of the bag of holding, one from off his shoulder, and he's holding both and staring off into the middle distance. Staring off kind of to the northeast, where you can see this ripple. This long ripple through the sky that almost looks like a sine wave that seems to be passing up and down, and just over the very far distance of the Iron Crag Mountains, this undulating wave that seems to be moving in concert with the ground itself. You hear panic around you, but Trev, your eyes are locked onto this wave before you snap to it and realize that you have both swords out and you're standing on shaking ground and something is happening. But for a second, just a split second, you're completely captivated by this sight. The shaking stops after about 20 seconds, and along with the shaking stop, that sine wave goes away. But all of you can feel in yourselves that something has changed. Something has happened.
Marlon yells, "Did I do that?"
Is the rift
Laugh track
still there?
No, it's not.
Record scratch.
Alright, I'll get up first, I guess, because I'm on the fucking floor.
Yep. I'm gonna get up, and I would personally like to do some sort of Arcana check. Do I see this thing?
Yeah, you all see it.
Yeah, I would like to Arcana check this.
Okay, roll an Arcana check.
I'll go. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say give advantage on that.
Okay, take advantage.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Oh, that's a nat 20 plus 12.
Nice.
Uh,
That was 110%, and you've never been more sure of anything in your life. That was a rift in the realms. That was a tear somewhere between various realms. What realms they were that were suddenly colliding like that, you have no idea. But that was definitely another planar body colliding with the prime material plane and scraping away.
that sounds like...
Tectonic planes.
I hope that plane of existence has good insurance, because...
Yeah, dude. Did we?
all that
I don't
buffed
have.
out
I don't
paint.
have uninsured plane coverage.
Yeah.
Oh, bitch.
I would like to ask Trev if he's okay, or
It does. I don't know the answer to that question yet. Does Trev feel anything on his hand with this?
It is burning.
That's not good.
So what? What?
Now, I guess the operative important question is: does Marleman tell everybody that he is super certain that there is a rift between
Absolutely.
planes? Because if
Absolutely.
so, that's
Well,
That was
crap.
that was
immediately very not happy.
That's
Mm.
bad.
Yeah.
Contact Vincent.
Say that again, Jay. I couldn't really hear you.
Can I contact Vincent?
You cannot.
Uh-oh.
This is bad.
Should we go to the...
Wait. Okay. So they collided. Did they break? Like,
it sounds like they went like this.
yeah, it sounds like they scraped against each other. But are you saying that like a hole in this plane or something was torn?
The best the best way to like wrap your head around what seems to have happened here is that some planar force on another plane just jettisoned itself or the plane itself into the barrier between the two and skidded off like a skipping stone.
Okay. And we're theorizing right now it would have something to do with Trev's stuff.
Trev,
Yes.
I think Trev got it.
All right.
She's getting close.
So
At best.
she's on another plane of existence?
Yes.
Okay.
She's trying to get through.
another plane
That-
he's trying
that
to
has
get back
been-
to this plane.
That has
Okay.
been what she has been trying to do
Mhm.
forever. For as long as I've known. For as long as many people have known. And that is, without exaggeration, the worst thing I could imagine happening.
Okay.
So I don't know if there's anything that we can do about this, but we need to do something. We need to.
Well, assuming they're still there, we do know one person who works for her potentially is not that far from us.
Who's
Where?
that?
I don't remember.
Right? This is Heather not remembering. My brother works for the group that works out.
Oh,
Yes.
And your brother's in charge of break right now,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. But he doesn't know that we know that.
As
Yeah.
far as we are aware.
I think he knows that.
We're playing a very.
Give me I have a genuine question for all of you. I need you to give me your intelligence scores. And whoever has the highest intelligence, I'm going to give you the opportunity to crack an important part of this puzzle.
I think it might be me.
Is
I
this
believe it is Nyx.
Next.
just an intelligence check? Or
Just
save?
it's just going to be a straight intelligence check.
Okay.
Well, my base number is 17, and then I have a +3 on the base stat. But if
Okay.
it was like,
No,
if it was a
you have
roll-
you have the highest intelligence in the group. Just roll a straight intelligence check with advantage.
Okay.
I rolled a nat 20.
No,
I mean,
we're not
I-
checking. It's a,
We're not. No. We're not checking.
Yeah,
I
you're
am
also
asking.
not Emily.
Yes, I am asking who had the highest intelligence period in the party, and whoever does has the opportunity to try and crack this.
Yeah, and you gave me advantage, right?
I did, because all of you are working together on this. Or at least all of you are in a moment together where you can put some pieces of information together.
Hey, nat 20 on the advantage.
Holy crap. Okay.
I gave you my nat 20.
How many of those have we gotten today?
2.
Yep. 2, both of which were done by advantage.
Yes. You hearing all of this, Nyx, and hearing that she's getting closer makes you realize something. That something must be happening to cause her to gain strength. And you guys have known that there are people out there who are working to have that happen, but you've never put the pieces together as to what they could be doing. You know, you interacted with the Lady of Bones, who, while working for the Queen of Air and Darkness, was, you know, just also creating all of these souls in specific places to try and power herself. She was siphoning energy that was supposed to be used elsewhere for her own gains. But that means that that energy has to be going somewhere from something, and almost as if controlled by something, actually fully controlled by something, because the ring around your finger, your ring of calm mind, suddenly sparks, and not in a noticeable way, but just in a leading sort of way, a telling sort of way, you're onto something sort of way, and you run and you grab a map. You grab the entire map of the continent, and for reasons you can't even fully fathom why, you start to mark every spot that you have noticed or have interacted with these people. You mark Jerselheim. You mark Hasper. You mark just beyond the wall in the waste. You mark Lathander. You mark Break. And finally, you mark Silder, this town just south of Break. And you realize that this arcing crescent pattern in order, including the monastery, including the mountains, creates a rune.
Transmutation circle.
Creates a very specific rune. It is a gigantic rune for a teleportation circle.
Oh no. Is this complete? Is there is it possible to try to guess where the next one would be if it isn't full?
Well, with a natural 20, I'll give you one other piece of information. At each and every one of these places, there has been a gigantic loss of life.
Right.
So a lot of energy and a lot of life energy has been pumped into the ground, into the air, into the soil, into everything around it. There's one place on this map that you know that they are interested in, but you're not sure if there's actually been a tremendous loss of life there yet.
Break?
Break.
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
So we have a vested interest in preventing Russell from doing whatever he's probably trying to do.
And we have the teleportation sigil to get there, right?
Yeah, totally do.
We also, we aren't that far. We went march from there.
Yep.
Well, yeah, but probably better to get there quicker.
Are you sure about that?
Well, if he's expecting us to come back, he would expect
with our army, etc., etc.
Exactly. He would. For him, basic math. He would assume if we're going back the same way we came, it would take us a few more days. Whereas if we just teleported, we could get there immediately.
Trev, all of this also clicks into place with things that were said suddenly make way more sense as well. Why Drossel was asking you for another army to come and march towards Break. Why he allowed you to take this militia away for a small amount of time. You know, there is definitely, he is attempting to move chess pieces on a chessboard to suddenly converge in one spot to create something.
Right.
If y'all want me to teleportation circle, I'll do it.
I mean, the thing about that is that the decision of whether you're using a teleportation circle to do this is also several other decisions involved all at once. Which is are we going to immediately go in, are we going in guns blazing? Because if we were teleporting back instead of going back with our army and acting natural like we got back from a thing, we are doing that because we're going to fight them immediately. Like, that's the only reason why we would do that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we would just go back as if our operation is complete and assume/hope that they still don't know that we know. Like, if you're going back and changing the plans in like an aggressive fashion, jig's up.
We
Yeah, you're right.
sort of hybridize those things because theoretically, like, obviously, he would know that this giant wave has just happened, right? And he would know that a lot of other people know this because it was felt everywhere. So it wouldn't necessarily be out of character for us to be concerned about this. I could see, you know, like being able to say, like, we came back as fast as we could because we were worried that, you know, the army's coming back on foot, but we can't put everyone in the teleportation circle. But, you know, we were worried about what happened, so we came back. So then we can kind of like hybridize.
I don't know if Sai and I can get away with that plan because our entire thing has been based around us as the commanders of that military. Like, I feel like that character falls apart immediately if we are willing to, like, leave them out on their own, in like such a troubled situation. Like, that seems risky as well. If we care about the facade, I think that any moves will be really risky.
Right. So my thought about this is, who is the large loss of life? Like, are they about to just kill every citizen of Break, or have they already done it?
They did want to go to war with that other town, did they not? How advanced was that war? I don't recall.
So Silder, it's impossible to know. There's that large magical dome over it that they claim is Gith. You've had your suspicions since this all began about what was actually happening in there. But they've been feeding people into what is the equivalent of a meat grinder, it sounds like. People don't come back.
Right.
But you do recall wanting, like, you know, Drossel asking for more people to show up and break in some way.
Right.
You know, you recall those things.
Right. So my other concern is, if we bring our army back, is our army the giant loss of life?
It's possible.
Probably.
That's a concern.
So, like, maybe we just roll up in there and, like, I mean, I don't know if we can take this guy. Maybe Phaedra would know more, but maybe not, because, like, he's supposed to be dead or something, right? But, like,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to the idea of, like, straight up going in and aiming and shooting to kill. Like, I'm the last person who's going to take issue with that. However, I just wanted to make sure that it was clear that that is the decision we are making. Like, there are no two ways about it. If that's where we start, that's how this ends.
Yeah.
And that's, again, I'm here for it. He needs it. He has it coming.
What do you got, Si?
I was just wondering if, what the hell is it?
Say it again. I couldn't hear you.
I'm wondering where my chickadee friend is.
His something friend.
His chicken.
Oh, the chicken friend.
friend.
Oh, he's been with the militia. He's been
he-
traveling with you. Arthur, Arthur is over there.
Arthur.
He came with us because he was worried about staying in the city without us.
Correct. He is worried about being picked up like all of the mages who seem to be disappearing in Break.
Would Arthur know a way to get us into the city incognito so that it wouldn't be obvious that we abandoned the army?
You find him and bring him over, and he's like, "Hey guys, like that. The militia is very off-put by everything that just happened. You guys will probably go need to talk to them eventually. I didn't want to say anything on your behalf yet. Back into Break incognito. Yeah, I know ways into the city that aren't traditional.
Become a chicken, for example.
Besides my Bacawk ability, yes. And besides my cock ability, yes. I can
Stop being so foul.
I've been sitting on that one for months.
This conversation is really ruffling my feathers. All right.
Alright. This is all great.
So that is an option if you want to do that.
Nick, Nix, you were the one who saw there were like a bunch of people in the room with my brother. Like when you had snuck in, like there were like a ton of people in there,
I don't think so.
like guards or something.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so
I'm
yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Like I'm just trying to remember how many of them there were.
That I don't remember. I feel like I remember, like, we knew there were guards, but I feel like I couldn't see them or something. Like, they were, like, on the...
in the wings.
They were waiting in eaves throughout the room. With your true sight, you were able to see past the mild coverings they were using to hide. It's not that they were, like, outside of the realm of existence or something like that. They were just hiding.
Okay.
Also, I perhaps am speaking out of turn, but I truly believe I am not. His guards are not the concern. It is him.
Yeah.
Like,
I
it
just
doesn't fucking matter how many dudes he has. He is worth so many dudes.
but I was just trying to remember.
We also know where his personal quarters are. So we can fight him away from the guards, at least give us a lead time anyways. Or ambush him there.
Right.
I mean, it'll be difficult for us to get the entire crew up there.
I feel like we could take out the guards so easily.
Yeah, the guards are not my concern. Like,
I
we
just
need to deal with him, and I think we're just gonna have to rumble. Like,
yeah, right. One more quick thing about, there's got to be loss of life, right? So we know the mages are gone, but we have no idea where they are.
I asked Celestian, and I got a vague answer.
Yes, you got a very vague answer.
And I don't remember what it was.
It was not there.
Not there. Like, we guessed that they had been sent to the warfront, the other warfront.
Yeah. The questions you asked, Celestina, if I remember correctly, are they alive?
Yes.
Which you got a kind of. You got a where are they, which was not there, because gods are really fickle. And I can't remember what the third one was, but it was something else not related.
So...
Oh, are they safe? No.
Yeah. So is it just the sheer number of souls that are crossing the plane at one time that's causing the, like, breakage? Because if my vague answer of it's possible they are hanging on to the souls before and just kind of just waiting to let them out in a burst. Would that be the, like, big loss of life? Like
a soul bomb?
Mm-hmm. Like, wouldn't that, like, cause cracks in the planes, maybe? Because, like, the souls are traveling through, if I remember, like, general D&D lore of, like, where souls go after the prime material plane.
Yep.
So, it's possible that's what they're doing.
none of this is my field.
Yeah, so worst situation, it's her, like, knocking on the door. Best situation, they've killed a fuck ton of people, and she's still knocking on the door. So
yeah, like, at the end of the day, the semantics of how they're doing it are not the most relevant thing in the world.
Yeah.
Because they clearly must be stopped.
Marleman, do you have Counterspell?
I do not.
Does anyone?
Both Sai and I believe, do.
Okay, because my concern, besides just trying to... The last time, a couple of times, they've been escaping, and I'm just trying to, like... I just don't want them to escape. Like, we need to make sure we stop them before they just teleport away.
At this point, we are now operating with the potential understanding that the location matters.
Mm-hmm.
So now, an escape from them is a lot less of a bad thing if it also delays/prevents them from taking action on their plan in the physical place where they need to complete this runic design.
Right.
So actually, escape doesn't seem from them doesn't seem like as much of an L for us right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, and I can keep hammering this point all day if I have to. If I can kill him, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's our best option right now because we don't want to feed them more people if that's what they care about. Like, I don't think we should wait and bring the army. I think if they just set off a bomb and she's getting really strong because most of her rune is done, I think the best thing we can do is kill one of her friends.
Acting now is important.
Yeah.
Instead of waiting, I think action. I
Yeah.
think now is the time for action. You know, like
Yeah.
that's my opinion. I am more than ready to go. Well, I don't know if I'm ready for it, but I'm more than down to go for it.
Yeah, I think we just teleport in there, like circle. We circle in there and fucking do it. Like, don't even try and be stealthy. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you can be stealthy up to the point where it's time to go loud, but like, there's no reason to light up using the whole city if we can avoid that.
Right. Just like it for speed's sake, like if we go this back way with Stick and Friend, like that would take probably I don't know exactly, but like it took like a week to walk you or something, right?
It took about 4 days march. So to march from Break to Hasper, but you guys on foot, day and a half.
Also, we have tree stride.
And you have tree stride. Now, granted, you know there are no living trees around Break right now. They've all been called down for the warfront. You do. You.
It's like way closer than walking.
I can't hear Sai at all. What?
Sai nailed something as well. Sai, say that again.
I said it would put us at least closer.
Closer, yeah.
It would put us.
It would put us at least closer.
Yeah. What's the closest?
Fill it in, Gary.
So the closest tree you can think of, in between you guys and Break, is, or at the very least, the closest forest, is about a full day's journey from here, but therefore only about a half a day away from Break. It's the forest you came across on your second day of travel, just before you interacted with Mr. Prospector.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So we could go to that and then approach at our discretion at that point. Like that sounds like if you don't want to jump in right then and there, but you want to get there faster, that sounds like a way to do it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, that sounds legit. I do think that we talk to the army before we just like bounce, but
and we've had our rests and whatnot, correct?
Yeah, we've been here for like 4 days.
For like a couple days now, yeah.
Yeah. I agree with RML. I don't know if we should have the army return right now because any bodies in that location right now that don't need to be there seems like not a great plan. Like I would evacuate that place if I could. Like, so, you know, unless someone needs to be there, I don't think they should be there.
Yeah.
Maybe we can have the army stay as part of like a restoration effort.
Yeah.
To help Habsburg just for now. Just so that way we're not having them report back right away.
Mm-hmm.
And then
something like that.
And then I can always send a message to one of the commanders at some point to then tell them to come back when it's safe.
Yeah.
Yep. I like it.
Although,
yeah, I don't know if we should tell them the whole truth because I'm concerned about
spies.
Interesting. I was gonna say their sense of duty.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, I wouldn't want them to, you know, feel like they had to and it was their job or whatever. Because it's just, it's just not the move right now. And so would rather spare the arguments and the convincing and just probably not tell them the whole truth, if possible.
we tell Ducking things.
What?
We tell Ducking.
Oh, Ducking.
Let's face it, we're about to overthrow a government. We're going to need to establish a replacement.
And you want to put him in
You
charge?
want to put Duck?
No, but at least he's a voice of wisdom.
Plus, he
That's-
kind of has a sense that something's been up since we saved him. So
But he's also
I mean,
not exactly been against us. Like, he's shown some integrity at some point, didn't he?
yeah,
Well-
yeah.
can he keep a secret?
Well, he
Make him pinky
can
promise.
get sort of next to his throat.
Which I have a quick sidebar through all of this. Sai, have you let out your kobold Pokemon?
So that's something I wanted to mention, but being a little.
Yeah, we'll come back around on that, but I just wanted to make sure you were thinking about the fact that you have
Once
a
I've
starving kobold.
interacted with him, we'll go back and forth.
Yep, we'll go back to that.
Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, kind of is what it is. I guess that's what we gotta do.
I have something between an idea and a plan that I don't think people will like because it is very risky.
What is it?
I don't remember by either players or characters who remembers that I mentioned this at the end of the last fight that we had. But when Corin teleported away, they first of all healed me, which was interesting, and second of all told me to find them. I have a means of communicating with anybody else from that order that I don't use because I don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
But that could be a useful source of information if I were to reach out and try to find out what she knows about what their plans are.
Why would
That
she?
would also be tipping our hand.
Yeah.
It would be a risk of me tipping my hand if I don't play it right. Hence the fact that it is a risky move, but it's also it's access to information that we certainly would not have any other way of getting.
If she
So-
was telling you to find her, that worries me a little.
I mean, remember, she has literally always thought that I am like a conversation away from rejoining them. That has never not been her case.
Okay,
She
because
thought that in the cell. She thought that every single time we have ever interacted.
That's true.
So I don't have any reason to believe that isn't exactly her play, which is why I think she is a lever that could theoretically be taken advantage of.
is it
What's the worst that could happen?
That's a good question.
Trev gets taken over?
Yeah, that's all. Okay, that is one of the that's kind of the worst that could happen, or at least a worst that could happen for the foreseeable future.
Right, but is the risk higher because of you reaching out to her, or is it like you reach out to her and now they know where we are, and that's
I believe that can only happen if I allow it to happen.
right.
My concern is if the barrier is becoming weaker, maybe that confidence is coming not from the fact that she thinks you're going to rejoin, but more that the big she could take over.
So he's more susceptible to the influence.
If
Right.
that were possible, then if that were true, then it would have already happened.
Mm.
If she were able to do that, she wouldn't need the help of Corin Darhammer to do the job.
That's
She
true.
could just do it. Like, there is still... I've used that magic, and I've used that weapon.
Okay,
If that were a thing, then it would be done.
gotcha.
Like, there's a reason why I have been resisting using it, but I have had to. I broke realms when we were in the, whatever hells, and it didn't go bad then.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, she has been she seems to be the new, or at least the least devoted of their number by far. She is somebody who has struggled there, suffered the most for them, or at least suffered a ton for them and not seen much for it. if there's anybody who I might be able to work here, that is the connection that I have.
If we do get back in time, we can stop my brother. I can try, if we do kill him, I can try speaking with Dead to get some information out of that as well. So,
I mean, that's very after the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
I'm
if we kill
saying-
him, I don't really know how much information is going to be relevant at that point.
fair,
Because what will have happened will have happened.
true.
I don't mind. Honestly, like risk reward. Like already, Trev lives at like a crazy amount of risk. I don't see the Dawn Hammer, our new friend, being the worst risk, you know. And the reward is huge, right? That we learn
Yeah.
a ton about.
And I mean, like, I will say out of character because I was reminded of something. That prison cell conversation was even a little bit more favorable than even I remembered it being.
Yeah.
Like, there was a little bit of a breakthrough there. I seem to recall now that I was reminded of it, having some trying to convince her that there was like another way to live than hers, and that I was doing just fine separating myself from all that stuff. So who knows?
I think you give it a shot.
At this point, we're still the last place that she saw us physically, so it's
Yeah,
That
I mean
would
that
be
I do have a slight
location.
worry also. I would like to keep tabs on her and get some information about what she's up to if possible. Because in the back of my mind, I am actually worried that she is keeping an eye on us, and if we disappear, then
Mhm.
she and some friends turn our army, which we separate ourselves from, into that giant loss of life that she's
Right.
So that's the other reason why I'm kind of interested in getting in touch with her, is seeing if I can get a sense of if she's got a plan for that kind of thing, or a plan of backing up what's his name.
Right.
Like,
I think that's a good idea.
seems
So I
like a piece that we might be able to either use or at least triangulate the position of.
right.
It sounds like it's going to be very useful,
Mhm.
and it sounds like while it may be risky, it's going to get you some information, I think, regardless.
Yeah, and I mean, at a certain point, there will always be a chance that you guys are going to have to kill me, and if it happens, it happens. Like,
Mhm.
I've come to terms with it, and I really hope it never happens. But if it does, don't hesitate. Get the job done. Like, that's all there is to it.
You're under the assumption that we could kill you.
Absolutely. There's a lot of you.
There is a lot of us, yeah.
I mean,
You all killed a dragon.
if we're all working together, maybe.
Yeah. But still, like, I'm worried about that, obviously, and I've been trying really hard to make that not happen, but it's only going to get harder.
I mean, I can have some stuff on standby, like just in case.
Yeah, like your pyre mall.
I meant more like, I meant like greater restoration and stuff like that.
These
But yeah,
fits.
that also works too.
But yeah,
I'm
so that's the
sorry.
thing. Like, I think it's probably as good as I'm gonna get as far as using, well, frankly, something that only not that many of people out there can do to try and earn us something here and get us the best advantage we can.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to stick a sword through that guy, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But I want us to be ready when the time comes because I know he is dangerous.
Mhm.
Yes. I think that's a good idea. I think we have time for that too. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's better to gather the information than like, now that you say this, right? Like, my first thought was like, let's go, let's get this guy. But now, like, if we can get information and not leave our army behind to get massacred and stuff
And
like
this
that.
is just this is just like, I could do this in what, like, it won't take that long.
Yeah.
It'll take as long as the conversation does. So I can do this next to it, like, do this over an evening, and then we can rest up and do what we got to do.
Yeah.
Also,
Do
just to
that.
clarify something, we know the locations that correspond to the rune of the teleportation, correct?
So far.
We know at this point whether, we'll say, the conditions for that site to be activated have been met or not.
Of the ones that you can identify right now, Yes.
Has Hasper been activated?
Trying to think of the right way to phrase this. There was just a rout of kobold blood spilled into the ground, and although not many humans died, a lot of life was just spilled.
We did also just see the ripple, so I assume yes.
Well, so that's what I'm saying. If leaving our army here, especially not for an extended length of time, doesn't worry me that they're going to end up helping.
Yeah, that is valid.
They're going to be here, away from where they could die.
Yeah, I suppose the damage is already done.
Right.
Yeah. Instead of bringing them back to a place where they could be killed. And
You're not wrong.
You do have one other location where you have interacted with this group where you know for a fact there has not been a large loss of life.
Where?
Trev?
I'm actually just stuck on something else.
The monastery. Both
That is
times
Yeah.
that the Order attempted to create a large loss of life of the monastery, they failed.
Do we have any idea what that dude is, by the way? The dragon?
Quentin?
What about Clinton?
Yeah.
No, you haven't had any leads on that one in a while.
Okay. I'm
Yeah,
totally
that is
back to
true.
him.
The other thing I was thinking of is like where on the map of like drawing this rune did that fight in the Feywild take place? Is that just like a point in the circle that's like in the like higher up or something? Like a third, like they're playing
There were-
5 chess.
There are two of those, in fact.
Right.
So, are there equivalent locations in the Feywild that are connecting also to the prime material plane?
You, as someone who has done a lot of planar research and a lot of like understanding of the structure of the planes, can kind of puzzle this out a little bit. Yes, there is this not quite intricate, but like like a numerical rune that is being created on the face of Pelin, the continent. Nice. And then to both the lower and the higher, direct opposites of the prime material plane, there has been a large loss of life. The Feywild here and the Hells here.
Whoa.
Or the Abyss here, I should say.
Right. Whoa.
Right, where we were in hell.
And where you guys
There was a big loss of life. Yep.
did the job for them.
Yep. This,
Hey, you know.
there's so many things to keep track of. It's hard.
Again, hi, me, DM. You guys had no idea. Like,
Yeah.
it took this for you guys to realize what was happening. Sure, there were ways you could have figured it out earlier if you wanted to, but there wasn't a lot you could have gone on. You know, if at one point one of you had mused, isn't it weird that every time we see these people, there is a lot of dead people that are left on the ground? Sure, and we could have run from there, but like it took to this. And that is in no way, shape, or form a bad thing.
Can we infer then that there are other planes of existence that they must be going to in order to do this, besides the Feywild and the Abyss?
They have not done one to the sides. They have done one that in the planar map, one to the north equivalent, one to the south equivalent, and they have not done one to the east or to the west.
And what are in those locations that like are places like we were considering going to, or that we know?
Those are where the elemental planes rotate.
Motherfucker. Okay, that's fine because we were trying to go to.
You have a friend in the elemental plane of fire. You have a mountain sea in the tree is lost somewhere in the elemental plane of earth.
That was what I was.
Lost. He's chilling.
He went. He took a vacation.
Hiding.
Okay.
And you've also had some leads and a teleportation circle rune that leads into the elemental plane of air.
Right. And then water.
Yeah, that's weirdly enough the one thing you haven't figured out a reason to go to is the elemental plane of water.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay. Well, I guess the only good thing about that means is that they're not quite done yet. So that if they still have like several locations that they're trying to do this at, we do have time to try to get back to break, not immediately teleporting then. Is so that does give us time to try to plan a little.
Yeah, we'll try and talk to the Dawnbringer,
Hmm.
the Dawn Hammer.
It seems like they have like 2.5 out of 5 things done.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we're just now realizing that. So, time is probably against us.
Yep.
Especially since they've had time to move their pieces into place. And as far as we know, they could have more of the members of that order than what we've seen, and maybe new ones since Trev left them. Maybe more than the ones that we originally thought. We've killed a few. It's
that's why we keep killing them.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what's to stop them from filling those vacancies?
True.
And there's a lot of twisted motherfuckers out there who would just jump at the opportunity.
So, because it's getting late, and I do want to do perhaps one more thing, I'm just going to ask: are you doing it, Trev?
Yeah.
Okay.
My plan. It's not happening. I don't think it can happen tonight.
No.
I think
It's-
that, out of game, that's a conversation that's going to take some time, I would think.
Yes, it is in fact. But so we're gonna stop here because it is just after 10 o'clock. We'll pick up basically in medio res. Like we will pick up from here and move forward with a couple of different things. We'll move forward with Trev reaching out. We'll move forward with the pocket kobold and figure out what has to be done with that. And then what the next steps will be from there. I have a couple of different things planned, so it's not a big deal to me. You know, whichever way you guys decide to go, I'm ready to kind of chase those threads. So,
Okay.
All right.
you learned a lot tonight, guys.
We
Yeah.
did. Shit.
You have a Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
I wonder what he's up to these days.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Not everybody.
Have a good night.
Go on out.